We've gone past the 1st of July, which means you can officially be lodging your 24/25 tax return. But please don't do it yet, not until you've at least watched this video, checked off all these things, because there are some real risks in particular this year. Let's first start with the big one, and that is your employment income being made tax ready? So you need to make sure it ticks over to that tax ready status before you include this income in your tax return. Now, this risk is heightened this year because of the way it works is based on your final pay date for the year. So if you get paid weekly and on a Monday, like a lot of people do, your final pay for the 24/25 year was on the 30th of June, which was the Monday. Now, this means your employer wouldn't have been able to make your information tax ready till likely at least the start of July. So they might be caught up with other things and maybe they haven't done that yet. So just wait until that happens, and you need to wait till all your employees are made it tax ready if you have multiple employers. Now, they do have until the 14th of July to do this. So don't go bothering them quite yet, but if it does get closer and closer to that date and it still hasn't happened, make sure you ask your payroll department, hey, what's going on with this? Are you going to be making sure it's done by the 14th of July? Now, the reason why this is important is because if it's not tax ready yet, the information that's being fed through your return likely isn't the final information. Maybe it doesn't include your final pay run yet. Or even worse, maybe they've made some mistakes through the year and they haven't reconciled and fixed those up yet, and the information that's been reported isn't correct. You want to make sure this is right so that your total income from this employment source and the tax withheld is reported correctly. And just remember, when I'm talking about all these things, the ATO don't start processing the refunds likely till about the 10th of July onwards, so there is no real rush to get it done on the 1st of July, for instance. The next one where people always get it wrong is bank interest, and I've seen it happen a lot of times. I ask clients, have you got any bank interest? No, I don't. We lodge the return, and then a week later, the ATO get information that there's more bank interest that they actually earned that they forgot about, and the return now needs to be adjusted. So just wait until your bank has made this information either ready to the ATO, or go into your banking, go through your bank statements and add it all up and manually import it. You can do it either way, but just make sure you include all your bank interest. We've had higher interest rates over the last couple of years, so thankfully, people have actually started to earn some interest on their savings, so that amount might be a little bit larger than what you realize. And don't forget, bank interest is taxable and likely has no tax withheld on it at the time, so this likely could reduce your refund or potentially even shift you into a payable amount if you've had a larger amount of bank interest. Now, before I go into the next couple of things, I just want to remind you that my business, Rooshock Accounting, we are doing individual tax returns and small business tax returns again this year. If you are interested in our services, all the links are in the description to the video. We have fixed pricing and we really want to help you maximize your return. I'd love to help you one-on-one. So if you're interested, reach out to us. The next area is private health. Now, this can take a little bit while to report to the ATO, and quite often the private health companies aren't giving you anything directly anymore. So you're waiting for this to happen. So what you need to do is make sure that if you've got private health, especially the ones that have got hospital cover and you're over those Medicare levy surcharge thresholds, and you're needing to make sure you've got this information so that you don't have to pay the Medicare levy surcharge, wait for that data to be available. This again will vary depending on who you're with as to whether it has been reported or not. And don't forget, if you've changed funds through the year, you might be waiting on 2 separate private health companies to report this to the ATO. Once you've got this, this will hopefully pre-fill into your return, or if you use an agent, they'll get that information, and then they can tick the relevant box to show whether you had the appropriate cover for the year so that you can avoid paying the Medicare levy surcharge. If you get this wrong, this could cost you thousands of dollars, so make sure you wait and get it right. And then, of course, you need to tick off any other income sources. So there's various different ones you could have. Maybe it's government payments. Now, these should automatically flow through into the ATO system. These normally happen pretty quickly, but these are going to be your things like your Centrelink, whether you're getting youth allowance or whether you're getting a New Start or job seeker payment, as it's called now. What about if you've got any kind of investments that you've sold? So we're talking about crypto or shares or even investment properties. If you've sold these, you're going to likely need to do these information calculations yourself. Now, the ATO might give you a prompt to say, we know you've sold something, but they won't know the cost base, so you need to work this out yourself. If you've got dividends from shares, this is something that takes a while to pre-fill, and especially if you've got ETFs, where you're going to have to wait potentially a couple months before this information is available. If you've got a rental property, you're going to need to get your agent statement. Hopefully they'll send you something for the full year, and then you want to collate all those other expenses that you paid outside of the agent. If you've got a business, well, that's a whole other story, and it might take you a bit longer to get everything organized, but you can make a start on that anytime onwards. Get your income expenses, get your balance sheet right, get all this information, get it to your tax agent so they can help get your return done. So you want to understand, what have I got that generates income for me, and how do I get access to that data? So if you've ticked all of that, you can be really confident that I've got all of my income sources right. But one last step before you lodge your return should be to head over and watch my How to Maximize Your Tax Return. It's my favorite video to make every single year. I know you guys love it. I'd love for you to watch that one first, and I appreciate you watching this one.